Hi, I'm here with Cynthia. Cynthia has been an intuitive reader for decades and has done thousands of readings. Cynthia has expressed an ongoing interest with the Nancy Guthrie case. She's been up at night thinking about this. She wanted to share some intuitive insights. So, Cynthia, do you think that Miss Guthrie is alive?
No, unfortunately, I don't. I've been waiting a long time because I didn't want to defuse anybody's efforts in case what I had to contribute was no contribution at all. At this point, I don't think it can hurt, and hopefully it will do no harm and perhaps delayed, and that's my intent.
At this point, let's not talk about the culprits. Let's just talk about the disposition of her remains.
I don't believe they're in Mexico. I feel it's closer to our house. I feel it's within driving distance. I want to say 10 to 20 miles away from our house, kind of max. I feel like it's in a shopping mall, and I believe it's behind the shopping mall. And I believe that the shopping mall has flags, lots and lots of flags, because I see flags everywhere. Behind the shopping center, there's parking. And behind that, I don't think it just opens up to the desert, but there's desert type environment, not houses built right there. There would be some land that could be leftover construction, as in it was already dug up, but it feels like it's behind the shopping center. It feels like there is a center that has a water fountain. Feels like it's main El Camino something or other. Feels like it's L-shaped. It feels like it has several different kinds of places in it, like eyeglasses, massage, the standard stuff, but they have one really good, outstanding restaurant, which is pretty high line. It might be like a P.F. Chang's. It's ethnic based, so if it's Spanish or Italian or Asian American, it's a good restaurant. There's a hotel, a chain hotel like a Hilton or a Marriott or Days Inn, very close by, within 0.5 miles of it. Gas station. It's a local brand. So it's a chain and it's a local brand. It has a small mini mart, but not big, something that you'd go in and buy at pardon the milk, but not something that you could actually shop at.
Anything else specific?
I think she died quite early on. I don't think it took very long. I don't think she's alive for weeks. I would be very surprised. Now, this is something that's crossed my mind 2 or 3 times. I will say it. I do not know if it's accurate. I'll do the best I can. I think the intent was political. I think it was politically based. I think somebody wanted to get to her daughter, something like scooping up people and then separating them from their families and just picking them up and parting them, and their families don't know where they are. I think it was always an intent to return. I don't think it was an intent to keep her. I think originally they were just going to tell you where she was with the keys. But obviously after she left, the game changed. Do I think it was a burglary just for a burglary? No, I don't. I think it was a political statement. This feels like a desperate act. But I'd be surprised if it was actually for the money. I think it was for the recognition, for the power of connection that went awry.
To help people interpret these types of puzzle pieces, sometimes it's literal, sometimes it's not. It's meant to be directional. Can you explain a little bit about that process so people have the best information?
Well, when I get information, sometimes it's metaphorically. It's like this. It looks like that. It's not exactly 100% like that. The information is going through me. So they have to use reference points that I'm familiar with. Like I used to have a donut shop, and it was in an L-shaped shopping mall. And it was right next to a highway. So this is where I start. That's what jiggles my chain. And in the middle, I literally saw my donut shop. I said, oh, well, Jesus, that's right next to a highway. Well, that's not far from where I used to live. So it's not far from where she used to live, and it's close to a highway. So I'm not trying to lead people astray. I'm trying to decipher what comes in as it's like.
What else do you want to add?
I'm concerned that if we don't find her very soon, the opportunity will have passed. That's why I'm speaking out now.
Okay.
Because I think we're running out of time.
Is there anything that Miss Guthrie, who is presumably has passed, is there anything that she wants to share, or is she not at this time willing to connect and communicate?
Well, what I hear is that she was really more concerned about the trouble it caused and the pain it caused her children than anything else. I don't see her as being terribly afraid, at least ways not now. But her main concern is her children and what they have endured versus herself. Very kind and proud of them. I know there's 3, but I get a 4th one. So either she had a miscarriage, I think it's a miscarriage, feels like one will also be, died in utero or right after birth, but there's one extra. And it does feel like it was sometime before her daughter, the one that's on television.
Who is likely to find the remains?
I think it's local. I think it's local people. Like someone that wasn't really looking for them. Like a jogger on the path. Local persons. If it's the FBI, we're gone. Have no problem being wrong. I ask for nothing, just for her to go home. I'm very sorry for your loss.